I have in front of you first is something that you did in Algebra 1 and you did last year in Algebra 2, and that's solving two equations at the same time. So solve for x, plug it back in, solve for y. So I just want to quickly review how to do that, and then I'm going to show you how to do it using a matrix. So you got 2x plus 3y equals 701, x plus y equals 325. You first obviously want to eliminate the x's or the y's first. So let me open it up to one of you guys. What do you want to multiply x plus y equals 325 by to eliminate the x's or the y's? There you go. A lot of numbers today, by the way. A lot of numbers. 11. Here we go. Good morning, Liz. Liz, suggestion on what do you want to multiply that by to get rid of either the x's or the y's? Okay, maybe next time. Let's try another one. Ella, never mind. I already see what I'm going to run into there. Isaiah, here we go. Isaiah, save us here. What could I multiply x plus y by to either eliminate the x's or the y's here? I'm muted. Are you kidding me? I'm not. Am I in the wrong? Oh my God, I'm in period 6. Holy crap. Shit. God, that's a one job. All right, that happens when you're in your period 6 class and you should be in your period 5 class. How about that, huh? One stinking job. So no wonder nobody was answering me. All right, so let's try this again now. I'm going to try to solve this system of equations with you guys the old school way, the way you learned in Algebra 1. And then I'm going to show you how to use a matrix to solve it. So what I'm asking somebody right now is x plus y equals 325. What number can I multiply it by to get rid of the x's or to get rid of the y's? All right, let's try this now. Not in class today. Well, I'm on fire today. Mason, can you please save me?
-2.
All right, -2. Thank you. You could have also multiplied by -3. That would have eliminated the y's. Good. So here we go. I'm just going to rewrite the first equation, 2x plus 3y equals 701. Distribute the -2. -2x minus 2y equals, please distribute the -2 all the way to 325 and get -650. Perfect. X's cancel. And pretty convenient, huh? I'm left with 1y equal to 51, I think. There you go, 51. And then anybody remember, how do I find the x value now? If I know y equals 51, how do you want me to find the x value? 12. Dan, how do I find the x value if I already know y? Am I still muted or no? Okay, everyone can hear me. Dan, how do I find the x value if I have y already?
Oh, you would just plug it in to one of the equations.
Yeah, probably plug it into the second one because that looks a little easier, right? So x plus 51 equals 325. And then everyone moves over the 51, and they get x equal to 274. Huh? All right, so no problem. We can all do that. What I want to show you today is how do I use a matrix to do that now? How do I use a matrix? Before I do that, I have a question for somebody here. If I had you write that matrix as an equation using x's and y's, what would be my two equations? If I had you write that matrix as two equations using x's and y's, what would you guys write for me? You gonna take it there, Caroline?
Yep.
What would you write?
X equals 5, y equals -2.
There you go. So everyone see this matrix I have up here? That's what I want your matrix to look like at the end now today. I need your matrix to have ones going diagonally and zeros everywhere else. Because as you guys saw, hey, if I can make it look like this, I know what the value of x is and I know what the value of y is. So that's what I need your help with today, is make a matrix that looks like this one I have up on the board. Ones going diagonally and zeros everywhere else. All right, so let's do it. Let's go back, and there we go. Let's solve this same problem, but using a matrix. Step number 1, write those equations as a matrix. You guys have had plenty of practice in this unit. Write those two equations as a matrix for me. 2, 3, your line drawn down, 701. 1, 1, 325. And I'm going to try to make it look like, all right, the one I just had up there. I want to remind you guys, you are only allowed to do 3 things to a matrix from yesterday and the day before. 3 things. Let me remind you. You can multiply by a number that's not 0. So multiply a row. You can swap rows. And the last thing, as you remember from yesterday, we can multiply a row and add to another. Those are the only 3 things you're allowed to do in a matrix. All right, let's start. I need to get a 1 in the top left corner. That's where I got to start all the time. Get a 1 in the top left corner. How can I accomplish that? How can I get a 1 in the top left corner right now? By doing one of these 3 things up here. How can I get a 1 in the top left corner? Pretty easy suggestion here. Anybody know how I can get a 1? Mason, what's up?
Multiply the bottom one by -1, add it to the top one, and then that bring it to 1.
Okay. You're going hardcore there on me. Okay. Here's what Mason is saying. He's going to do the multiply a row and add it to a number. He's saying multiply row 2 by what, Mason?
-1.
-1 times row 2 and add that to row 1. That'll do it. I thought somebody was just going to say swap the rows.
Oh, that's it.
Right? You could have just swapped row 1 and row 2 and the 1 would have been in the top left. That's fine though, Mason. I'm all good with that. Don't worry. All right, here you go, guys. Mason, when I write a rule like that, what row am I only replacing then?
The top one.
Top row, row 1. So everyone could just write row 2 the same. All right, go ahead. Use that rule that Mason just gave us and figure out what's new. What's the new row 1? Take everything in row 2, multiply it by -1, and then add it to row 1 for me. What are your new numbers now in row 1? Ready? Give me my new numbers now. Bassett, go ahead, Bassett. What are my new numbers in row 1?
1, 2, and 376.
All right, I'm trusting you there. I got the 1, 2 is good. And then I have no idea for that last. -325 plus 701. Looks good? 376? Yeah. Okay. All right, so I got the 1, right? Remember I said I need 1s diagonally, and I already have that. Done. Now I need zeros everywhere else. I need zeros everywhere else. So let's first focus on this one right here in the bottom left. Help me turn that into a 0 somehow. Okay, help me turn that into a 0. How can I turn that 1 right there into a 0? Remember, you can't multiply by 0. That's no good. How can I turn that 1 into a 0? Give me a rule where that 1 turns into a 0. All right, so watch. I'm going to ask somebody a couple questions, and this I'll make it easy on everybody. Isaiah, ready for my questions?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, good. I'm glad. All right, Isaiah, what do you need to add to 1 to make it into a 0?
I have no idea. -1?
Yeah, that's a good idea. -1. Okay, yeah, you got to add -1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, Isaiah. In what row, Isaiah, is this 1 that I got to change into a 0? What row is it in?
Row 1.
Where is it?
The row 1 for the first one, right?
No. You want it? Hey, you see the diagonals yellow I have on here?
Oh, yeah.
I want to change this 1 right here into a 0. Everything else has to be a 0, Isaiah. So
Yeah.
what row is it in?
That's row 2.
Okay, so I'm going to have to replace row 2, which means I'm going to add something to row 2. What do you need to add to 1 again, Isaiah, to make it into a 0?
-1?
Okay, so what can I multiply row 1 by to obtain a -1?
-1.
Done. There you go. You just came up with the rule. That'll change that into a 0. Okay? I know, you're all proud of yourself there, I can tell. So everybody, keep row 1 the same. Now what's my new row 2? Using Isaiah's rule. Multiply everything in row 1 by -1 and add it to row 2. All right, ready? What's my new row 2 now? Caroline, what's my new row 2?
0, -1, -51.
Negative.
51. I did that kind of fast.
No, it's correct. It's correct.
Okay.
It's correct. Thank you, Caroline. Everyone okay so far? What just happened though? Do I have 1s diagonally now? No, I don't, right? I need positive 1s diagonally. So we need to fix that. How do I make that -1 into a positive 1? Very quickly, how do I make a -1 into a positive 1? Multiply everything in row 2 by what? -1. Yep. I need. Yep. Go ahead, Caroline.
Can you explain the diagonal thing again?
Yep. Here you go. When you're doing these, because I erased it already. Here you go. When you're doing these, Caroline, right? We're solving for x and y, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I would like my matrix to look like this. Because remember, this is x, right? And this is y. Good so far? So whenever I figure out the numbers, like say that's 30 and that's -10. If I can make my matrix look like this, that tells me x is 30 and y is -10. And do you see what's the ones always are going to go be the diagonal ones here. Everything else will be a 0. So in every matrix I have you guys work on now, those spots there have to be 1s, positive 1s.
So you just keep.
And everything else needs to be a 0.
Rule.
Say that again?
You keep like adding a rule until you get that.
Correct. But you'll see there's a pattern to all this. Okay, so you don't have 50 different matrices and you're driving yourself nuts. Okay? We still got 2 more to do, and you'll see there's a definite pattern between all these. Okay?
everything.
Okay, just give me time though. Just give me time. Okay, so now multiply everything by -1. 1, 2, that stays the same. Now I'm going to have 0, 1, positive 51. All right, we're almost there. We are almost there, guys. I got ones diagonally. I got a 0 where I need it. What's the only thing I need to change into a 0?
2.
The 2. Now I need to change this 2 into a 0, and I'll be done. All right, let's talk. How do I change it into a 0? I can't multiply it by 0. That's a no-go. I cannot multiply a row by 0. All right, so first question, where is the 2? What row is the 2 in? Bassett, what row is the 2 in?
Row 1.
Okay, so I know my rules got to do something with add something to row 1. Bassett, what do you add to 2 to get 0?
-2.
-2. So guess what I'm going to multiply the other row by, Bassett?
-2.
Done. Okay, if you need a -2, multiply the other row by it. So -2 times row 2. All the time. If you need a certain number, multiply the other row by it. If you need a certain number, multiply the other row by it. Row 2 stays the same. Go ahead. What's row 1 going to be now? What's my new row 1? You should have 1, 0, and then a new number there. That should look pretty familiar. Mason, ready? What's my new row 1?
Row 1. -2, row 2. So is 1 still up there and then 0?
And then what's my new number here?
That's 102. Onto it. It's 275. Wait, oh no, wait. 225. Because I'm taking away. Why do I keep saying 200? 300.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
-2 times 51.
102.
-102.
Yeah. And then
Add that to 376.
225.
Somebody help this poor kid out.
Yeah. Oh no, why do I keep saying 25?
274.
274.
74.
I don't know what they're saying.
And look what we ended up with. X equals 274. Y equals 51. Now I know most of you are like, I'm just going to do it the old way. All right, well, number 1, I won't give you credit on the quiz if you do it the old way. All right, and number 2, this is our first one. I know it's very uncomfortable and aggravating after the first one, but watch the pattern that starts happening now. All right, just please trust me and do these next 2 with me, and I think you'll feel more comfortable at the end of class. All right? Okay, here we go. Same thing. Use a matrix, though. Can't do it old school. Use a matrix. So first, set up your matrix for me. That's your first step. Set up the matrix that represents the equations. 1, -1, 2, 4, -8, 0. No issues. Oh, what do you already have in the top left? A 1. You're welcome. Already done. Now, get a 0 underneath it. Get a 0 underneath it. Okay, you got the 1 in the top left, get the 0 underneath it. Okay, how do I get the 0? Well, first, what row do I need to get a 0 in here? Let's go. Isaiah, what row do I need a 0 in right now?
Row 2.
Okay, ready? Row 2. Isaiah, there's a 4 there. What do you got to add to 4 to get to 0?
What?
What do you have to add to 4 to get to 0?
-4.
Okay, so that's what you should multiply row 1 by. So guys, see that? If you need a number to get to 0, multiply row 1 by it. Row 1 times -4 plus row 2. That'll get you a 0 there. So find your new numbers in row 2. Go ahead. We're going to start these the same way every time. Get a 1 in the top left. Done. Get a 0 underneath. Anna, what's my new row 2 going to look like?
It's 0, -4, and then -8.
Yep, you got it. Be confident. Done. Everyone's all good. All right? You get 1 in the top left. You get a 0 underneath it. Now, get the other 1 where you need it. The other positive 1. Remember, it's got to go diagonal. So now, you need to change the -4 into a positive 1. Everyone see that? You get a 1 in the top left, 0 underneath. Now you get a 1 in the second row. And I'll make this very easy on you. If you need a number 1, if you need a 1, all you do is multiply the row where you need it by a certain number. This is going to be tough for you guys to figure out. What can you multiply -4 by to get a positive 1? We're not going to add anything on here. I just want to multiply row 2 by a number so that -4 turns into a 1. You multiply, got it, Caroline?
A fraction.
Yep, a special fraction. Guys, remember the word reciprocal?
Yeah.
That's what you if you want a 1, you multiply that number by its reciprocal. So if you flip -4, what's it become? -1/4. All right, so if you need a positive 1 at any time, multiply that row by the reciprocal. All right, what do you got for me here? Row 1's not changing. What should row 2 look like now if I multiply each of those by -1/4? Bassett, last one for you today, boss. What's your new row 2 look like?
0, 1, and 2.
There you go. 0, 1, positive 2. Good work. Last thing I need, make that -1 into a 0. That's it. You get a 1 in the top left, a 0 below. Get your positive 1 next to it, then get a 0 above. All right, let's talk. Six, Mason, what row do I need the 0 in?
Row 1.
Okay, so it's going to be add something to row 1. What number do you have to change into a 0?
The -1.
-1. What do you have to add to a -1 to get 0?
1.
So that's what I'm going to multiply the other row by.
Yeah.
1, or just row 2 plus row 1. If you want to put a 1 in front that says you're multiplying it, makes you feel warm inside, go ahead. And there it is. Finish it off now. Multiply row 2 by 1, and then add it to row 1. All right, what's your new row 1 so we can finish this matrix? 11, Liz, what's your new row 1 here?
1,
Yep.
0, and 4.
Yep, good job. We're done. X equals 4. Y equals 2. And if you plug it back in, it works. Guys, look, here, last thing before I go on to this final one. Again, here's what you got to do in this order. Ready? Get a 1, top left. Below it, get a 0. Get another positive 1 diagonal. And then the last thing you should be doing is getting that last 0 in that order. 1 in the top left, 0 below it, 1 to finish off the diagonal, and a 0 above it. In that order, that's what we should be doing. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm going to cheat here. Not really cheat, but I'm going to work smartly. Just because I have 3x plus 4y equals 5 doesn't mean I have to write it first in the matrix. What do you think it might be a good idea to do here to make my life a little easier? Flip it already. Instead of flipping it in the matrix to add a little work, you can flip it right now. Go ahead. Why not? I know I need a 1, so I better start out with that equation. 1, 2, 1. 3, 4, 5. Might as well do it right now. Save me some time. So I got the 1 there. Next thing, 0 below it. 0 below it. Think about what we've been doing all day. What number is there? What do I need to add to it to make it 0? So I'll multiply row 1 by that. What number is there? That needs to be a 0. What do I need to add to it? Okay, you think you're ready to give me the rule here? Whew. Dan, here we go. What number do I need to change into a 0?
You need to change the row 2.
Okay, row 2, good. What number is there that I need to change into a 0?
The 2.
Number, I got the 1 in the top right. What number's below it?
Oh, 3.
3. What do I need to add to a 3 to make it into a 0?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 would make it into a
negative 3.
negative 3.
Yeah,
You just found out what you needed to multiply row 1 by. Negative 3 times row 1. Okay, everyone, keep row 1 the same. Replace row 2 for me. You guys are going to, I do the same thing every time, same steps. You guys are lucky. We used to do this with 3 and 4 equations back in the day. This thing would be a nightmare. Just too tough doing it virtually and in here. What's your new row 2 now? Okay, Will, here we go. What's my new row 2 using this rule?
Zero.
Okay, hold on. Whoa, easy. Okay, I got 0. What's up next? Go ahead. I just didn't. Go ahead. I just wanted to slow down, Will.
2.
Negative
2.
2. Okay, good. And then what's the final one there?
2.
Good job. Perfect. Next, get the other 1 where you need it. Get the other 1 diagonally. So how do I turn that negative 2 into a 1? And remember what I said on the last one. If you need a positive 1, just multiply the row where you need by the reciprocal. If you need a positive 1, just multiply that row by the reciprocal. All right, what do you need to multiply by here? 1, 4. Kian, what do you want to multiply by here?
Negative 1/2.
Got it. Negative 1/2, which is the reciprocal of negative 2. Perfect. You guys starting to see same steps every time. So that'll be 1 and then negative 1. All right, go ahead, get your last 0 where you got it to be. Get your last 0 wherever it's got to be. Kian, back to you, boss. What row does it have to be in?
1.
Okay, so I'm going to add something to row 1. What do you got to add the 2 to make it into a 0?
Negative 2.
Okay, so that's what I'm multiplying the other row by. Row 2 times negative 2 plus row 1. And you guys should be good here. All right, what's your row one? Final row one. Bassett, you're good for today. Thanks for your contribution. Will, here you go. What's your new final row one here, Will, when you're ready?
One, zero, -2.
Hold on. You got -2 times -1. Right? I'm doing -2
Yeah.
times row 2. So -2 times -1.
Oh, +2.
2 and then +1 in row 1. 3. Yep, there you go. And now we know our solutions, right? X equals 3. Y equals -1. Guys, same steps as you're looking at every time. Okay, I'm not, like I said, in the past, we sometimes did 3 equations. So it'd be a little bit longer, but not this year. It's too tough doing it. All right, all good? Friday's your quiz, remember? You now know what's on the quiz. You'll have one of these questions on the quiz at the end. The rest is all multiplying, adding rows together. I'll see you tomorrow for the assignment. Behave. Have a good night.
Have a good one. See ya.
See you, boss.